Hey, friends, welcome back to the podcast. I hope you guys are having a great day. We're in full swing of summer here. So, two teenagers and summertime. So it's been fun. We've had a lot of late nights and I get up really early in the morning. So I'm kind of on fumes right now. So I'm trying to reset myself and try to get back to a normal schedule. It's just hard when you've got other human beings who live with you and who affect your life. Oh my gosh. So anyways, pray for me as I figure out how to not lose my mind this summer with my children. So anyways, okay, you guys, this episode is short and sweet, but holy moly, this is such an important topic. And it's about the different types of people that we all need in our life. And I got to tell you, a friend brought up this concept to me a few weeks ago. And ever since he did, I've just been absolutely obsessed about it. And I really hope it encourages you, as you continue to care for yourself spiritually and emotionally and mentally, and just trying to find more health in every aspect of your life. And you guys, these types of perspectives can really move the needle for us and just give us a fresh perspective that can help us in so many ways. Also, before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to mention that we are about to launch one more round of the Feel Better journey for this summer. So in 2 weeks, we're launching another women's group. So if you are bummed you missed the last round and you wish you would have signed up, email me and let's go. You guys, we have 3 spots available and I'm really, really pumped about this. This round is going to be a 10-week round and we get to do this work together in a small group setting. It's going to be less than 8 women. I'm not sure when another men's group will launch, but you can always jump on the wait list and the link will be in the show notes for that as well. Or you can email me again at hello@Dani.com. Like I said, we only have 3 spots left for this round. And if you feel the tug, please email me. I'd love to, we can connect for a quick virtual coffee and just see if it's a fit. If you're wanting more support and you want a program to be the framework and to walk you through this season and a community that can help you this summer, jump in. You've literally got nothing to lose and honestly so much to gain. So if you're feeling that tug and you're ready to do this holy and hard work and to learn to heal and learn to thrive even within your struggles and the unresolvable issues in your life, let's go. I'm ready for you. You guys, the painful and unresolvable issues in your life, I just want you to know they do not disqualify you from finding true peace and more inner healing inside. And I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you hold against yourself. I don't care how harsh you are to yourself. None of those things disqualify you from the opportunity and the privilege from finding true peace and just more inner healing. If you're ready, let's dive in. I hope this episode blesses you guys, and I will be in touch in a few days. Welcome to a Holy Mess podcast. All right, my friends, we all know life can be so difficult and painful at times, especially when we're carrying grief or loss or wrestling with shame about our past, anxiety about our future, or frankly, like we are just not enough. But there has to be so much more for us. There is hope and joy, peace, love, fun, purpose, and a reason that you, my friend, are on this planet. Let's partner with God so you can be who He created you to be as you wrestle through and trudge through your mess. Hi, I'm Dani, a recovering alcoholic, a mom, a wife, a mentor, and dust. We are only here for a moment. Let's live like it. I'm just like you. I'm a holy mess most days. Actually, every day. Let's have some fun and laugh while trudging through our mess. This stuff doesn't need to be dry and boring. Let's dig in. Can I just start with and say that if you've been thinking, I should go to the doctor and get my blood work done, can I just say, let this be your sign? And honestly, I'm letting it be my sign too. I've been working with a client for a couple of months, and always in the first session or so, when we talk, I always do this medical intake just to kind of see where they're at and how they're taking care of their physical health. Because sometimes medical things can be the root cause of emotional or even spiritual issues. And let me just tell you, okay, as I'm helping people, I'm helping myself too, right? But I've had this blood work order, I kid you not, for months. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So you guys, here's my commitment. Whatever day this podcast episode drops, I'm giving myself 3 days to go get my blood work done. So if it's been on your heart and mind too, I just want to be that nudge to say, go get your blood work done. Go meet with your doctor. Take care of your physical health. And you guys, I always talk about the fact that we're spiritual beings. But you guys, we are not spiritual robots. We have physical bodies and we have emotions and minds to contend with as well. And I, honest to God, I wish it was as easy as saying a prayer and abracadabra and we're fixed, right? But it just doesn't work like that. So several weeks ago, my client finally got into the doctor and come to find out their iron was low and their thyroid was off. So, and they have been struggling. They have felt like they were just walking through quicksand and felt a little bit depressed and more sad than normal and all of that. And so we were trying to figure out and kind of navigate what it could be. And honestly, with their thyroid being off and iron being low, that honestly could be one of the main reasons they're feeling kind of crummy. You guys, I have a thyroid thing and I know how difficult medical things can be. And please, please, please do not use this episode to self-diagnose yourself, or don't run to WebMD and look up all your symptoms. Please just get in touch with an actual medical doctor and just make sure someone is watching over your physical health to know how you are doing. Okay, so you guys, this is going to be a short episode, but I wanted to share this quick story that my friend had mentioned. And oh my gosh, it's really impacted me. And I've really been thinking about it. And I think it's going to be a new kind of lens with which I look through life in. So several weeks ago, I was chatting with a friend and he thanked me for being at a seat at his table. And I was like, oh man, of course, I will always be cheering for you and in your corner. And then he stopped me and he said, you don't know what I'm talking about, do you? And I was like, well, I thought I did until you just said that. And he said, there's this philosophy that they teach. And now I don't remember if he said they teach it in business school or in seminary. And I really don't remember. I should have called him before I hit record on this episode, but I was so excited to share this concept with you guys. But anyways, there's this philosophy that to be a well-rounded, thriving human being, that we need 5 people sitting at different seats at our table. Like if you look at your life like a big round table, there's 5 different seats that sit around it that help you build a great life. And I thought, oh my gosh, what a great concept. So then he went on to share what these 5 seats are. And I'm going to share them with you now. And then I have some more thoughts I wanted to share. But so the 5 seats are a medical doctor, so a physician that can look at your body holistically and help you, a spiritual director or a pastor. I would say a spiritual director because they're more involved in your spiritual life and growth more than a pastor, right? So like a pastor, most of the time, you see them on Sunday morning and they preach at you, right? But they don't necessarily know the ins and outs of your spiritual journey. And so it's good to have a spiritual director, a friend. So who's a friend? Someone that you can share life with and pour into, as well as them pouring into you, right? So they're like equals. We're equals when we're friends, right? They carry you at some times and you carry them at times. And so everybody needs a friend as well. And then he said either a coach or a mentor. So someone who is at least one day ahead of you in certain aspects of life, someone you can learn from and receive from. And one of the reasons why I love recovery work and recovery programs is they say that to be a sponsor or a mentor to someone, you just have to have one more day of recovery than they do. And I love that because it takes the pressure off. So much of the time we feel like we need to have everything figured out to be able to tell people what to do, when in reality, we just need to show up for people and be with them on the journey. And then the 5th seat that he said is everybody needs a therapist. So someone along their journey that knows about their mental health, family history, and how it may be affecting you when and if life crashes in on you. And that doesn't mean you need to meet with a therapist weekly or even monthly or heck, even yearly, but just somebody in the mental health field that you can reach out to. So as my friend was sharing this with me, my brain got totally moving into overdrive. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then I started thinking about, oh my gosh, who are in the seats in my life? Like, who are those 5 people that sit in my life? And then it got me thinking, actually, there's 7 seats at my table. And honestly, you guys, I hope that you have 7 seats at your table as well. And here's the other 2 seats that I think. So I think we absolutely all need the 5 that I just mentioned, right? A medical doctor, a spiritual director, a friend, a coach or a mentor, and a therapist. But also, I think we need a seat for Jesus, right? And I just felt obvious and almost like I was a heretic if I didn't say that. So We need a seat for Jesus. And honestly, you guys, you need a seat for yourself. You guys, so often we have all these people speaking into our lives, yet we aren't listening to ourselves. And it's not really our fault. It's not your fault that you have a hard time listening to yourself. I think experience in life has caused a lot of us to doubt ourselves, and that's okay. I think that all of these people can help empower and build you up. But you guys, I really think that part of this inner healing and spiritual growth journey is that we need to start trusting ourselves again, and we need to start listening to ourselves. In fact, I think the other 6 seats, including Jesus even, are all there to help empower you within your life and to help guide you, but not to control you, but to guide you. I mean, I just don't think Jesus even wants us to be spiritual robots or even spiritual puppets, right? He's not pulling us by the strings. Like, he gave us free will for a reason. And I think it wasn't to set us up for failure, but it was to help empower us and to grow in confidence and to be able to trust his Holy Spirit that lives within us. And it's so hard when we've been damaged or wounded, or when we've been taught to doubt ourselves, or just been through really hard things. And so I think that's part of the beautiful journey of having these other solid, amazing people in our lives to help breathe life back into us, so that we actually feel like we actually deserve a seat at our own table. You guys, for so many years, I felt like I didn't even deserve a seat at my own table, let alone your table, let alone anyone else's table. And that was just because of horrible choices I had made, or the things that life had taught me through experience, and feeling rejected and feeling unworthy and feeling not good enough and all of that. I mean, I remember having conversations with people and literally, and you guys know I'm a chatty Cathy, right? And literally not wanting to talk because I didn't want to take away from someone else talking, or not even wanting to breathe the air around people because I felt like they deserved the oxygen more than I did. And I know now it sounds kind of nutty to myself, but you guys, these are the things that are very human of us to contend with. And so I just think it's really important that we take the time to find the right people to sit at our table that are there to empower us and to breathe life into us. But I will say it may take a minute, and there may be some people sitting at your table that you need to actually put a boundary up with and say, you know what, you actually don't need to sit at my table. Like, I don't want to hear that negativity spoken about me to me, right? And so it's okay that we even put up boundaries with people, but let me tell you, that can be difficult. So just be patient with yourself as you're trying to reflect and figure out who deserves a seat at your table. And let me just say one thing. This whole thing about having 5 or 7 seats at your table, this is not another thing for you to go, oh man, I've got no one sitting at my table but Jesus. And then for you to feel rejected or lonely or not enough. Like, let me just tell you, we all have to just start with what we have. And so if you just have one person at your table right now, hallelujah. Like, if you are just saying, it's me and Jesus at the table, and we're going to build these other 5 seats and bring really good, solid people in that we can trust. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. It may take you a year. It may take you 3 years. It may take you a decade to find all the right people to sit at your table. But just because it takes some time and some effort doesn't mean you actually shouldn't do it, right? And don't define yourself based on, oh my gosh, I don't have the right people at my table right now. It's okay. You guys, knowledge is power, right? This is all here to help you empower yourself, to get your agency back, and to feel a little bit more confidence that you actually can take care of yourself, powered with the Holy Spirit, partnered with Jesus, and that some of this stuff does take a lifetime, and that's okay. This whole thing is just one of those things that I started thinking about as a good guidepost and a goal for us to have in our lives. And you may be thinking, how in the world do I get this? Like, how do I do this? So remember, I'm huge on virtual mentors, or even mentors that we never meet, or maybe even mentors that have already died, right? So Brennan Manning, who died almost 7 years ago, he's a phenomenal author. He was a speaker. I love that man. He will always be a spiritual director to me. Let me just tell you, I never met him in person. He's going to be one of the first people that I hope I get to meet in heaven. But he sits at my table. This guy has had such a profound impact on my life. I've never met Brennan, but yet he holds this space at my table. And he lives on in his books, right? Another author, Anne Lamott, will always be a writing coach and an inspiration for me in sobriety. I think she's, almost 40 years sober. And I only met her once, but I will say we've emailed a few times and she's amazing. So, but I would say she sits at one of the seats in my table. You guys, you can read books, you can listen to podcasts. Heck, I'd even hope if you wanted, I'd love to be one of the seats at your table. I don't want to be presumptuous, but if you've been listening to my podcast for any time at all and found some value, I'd love to be maybe in your coach seat or maybe your spiritual director seat. I just want you to know you're not alone. I hope that these podcast episodes and the content that I'm putting out is encouraging you and empowering you and loving you back to life, because you guys, that's my passion on this planet. And so I just want you to know, no matter what you're struggling with, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you're going through now, that you're not alone. And I want to encourage you guys, you have access to more people than you think. I mean, there's more information out there now than ever. There's books, there's podcasts, there's inspiring talks and messages online. And I know sometimes even having access to all of this stuff, we don't know where to start. So I just want to encourage you today. Number one, you've already started because you're listening to this podcast. And my hope is that even the people I bring into this podcast can be lights for you and can be guideposts and sources of inspiration to empower you and to build you up and to breathe life into you. And so I just want you to know you're not alone and I love you. And I'm so grateful you are here. So I wanted to encourage you guys, begin to brainstorm, begin to pray, begin to ask yourself, who can sit at my table? Who are the people in my seats at my table? And I'd encourage you, if you already have a few people at your table that are worth holding on to, send them an email, send them a text, just say, thank you for being one of those people in my life that is like a guidepost that has my best interest in mind. I think, you guys, that once we start down this healing path, it's amazing how opportunities and doors just open and we'll have divine appointments with people. And that's my prayer for you, that as you go into this week and as you reflect about who you want to actually have sitting at your table, that number one, you'd have the courage to put up some boundaries if there's some unhealthy people speaking into your life or at your table. Because let me tell you, it's so hard to put up boundaries there. But when we do, oh my gosh, it's like our soul, we can breathe again. Because sometimes if we have some people speaking some negativity and we've given them this place of authority in our life, it can be really detrimental. So my prayer is that as you go into this process of figuring out who's sitting at your table, that you have real wisdom from God about who even deserves a seat at your table. And mostly, I pray to God that you would feel worthy to even have a seat at your table so that you can receive from these people and then live a very empowered, more peace-filled, confident life in who you are. Let me say a quick prayer for you, and I'll be in touch in a few days. Oh man, Lord, I thank you for this concept. I thank you for my friend who even mentioned this whole seats at the table concept. God, I'm obsessed with it now and I love it. And Lord, I thank you for the people sitting at my table that have empowered me and breathed life into me and continue to do so, God. And I pray that you would bless them, pray that you would fill them, Father. And Lord, I pray for my friends. Lord, I pray that you'd reveal to them who are these people that get to sit at their table. What an honor it is for the people that get to sit at my friend's table, God. And so, Lord, I pray that my friends, Father, would feel your peace and your guidance, Lord. And Lord, I pray, Father, that they would know that they are worthy to have people sit at their table and to speak life into them, to guide them and to walk with them through this life. Lord, bless my friends in Jesus Christ's precious name. Amen. All right, I love you guys. I'll be in touch in a few days. And remember, if you've been thinking, I got to get my blood work done, let this be your sign from Jesus. Go get your blood work done. All right, I'm going to get mine done too. We'll be in touch in a few days. Hello, my friend. If this episode blessed you, made you laugh, or triggered you, hey, that's growth. Please do me a favor and share this with a friend. And if you feel led, please leave a written review for the show. That really helps us out. Don't forget, you are in good company if you're feeling more broken than you'd like to admit. And you are more loved than you can ever imagine. Have a great week. See you next time.